Hello, awesome artists. So we're going to be working on a project using ideas from Romero Britto's artwork and how he used all different kinds of patterns. So here we have a picture of a snowman, and as you can see, the background, he's in the foreground, right? He's in front, he's the foreground. The background, the part behind him, has been divided up into lots of different spaces. And as you can see, there's different patterns in each one. Actually, there's hearts here and there's hearts there. That's okay. We can even repeat patterns. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you guys through how to draw a snowman. But if you have a different way you want to draw a snowman, or if you want to draw a different winter character here in front, that's totally up to you. The only rule is it's got to take up a good, pretty big part of the paper, okay? Like he's probably as big as my hand. So whoever you put, whatever character you put, should be about as big as your mom or dad's hand probably. So taking up a lot of space, okay? So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna put a new piece of paper here. So we're gonna start by drawing what is in the foreground first. That's a pretty good rule to always follow. Draw what's in the foreground first, okay? So what we're gonna do is look at how the snowman is put together. We have this circle, or it's kind of an oval, isn't it? This one and the one down here. But we wanna make it look like each one is on top of the other. So instead of just drawing 3 circles or ovals, we're gonna draw them in a way that looks like they're stacked. Okay, and the way to do that is to start with the one, well, at least this time, to start with the one on top. So I'm going to start by drawing a circle oval shape first, a little bumpy there, and that's okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to actually do the scarf first, and then we'll add the other circles on. So let's give him his scarf first. So I'm going to do 2 lines on each side and another curved line here, okay? And we can come back and add the rest of the scarf later. So see where I'm going with that. Oop. Okay, so let's add the next circle on. So if we start here, we can come around. And this one's usually a little bigger than the first one. Okay. And then the last one, and that one's pretty big. So again, to make this one look like it's stacked on top, I'm going to start around here and make my big bottom snowball. See how it makes that one look in front of that one by drawing that way? Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we're going to, of course, add his facial features. Remember we talked about faces on people? Well, snowmen have facial features too. And we're going to add his arms and a hat. So let's start by giving him his face. So I'm going to give him 2 coal, looking like coal eyes. If you want to do your eyes a different way, you can. And in fact, there's a handout under this lesson that where you will see different ways of doing the face, so you could do it different if you want. I'm just going to keep it kind of simple for this. And then the nose looks like a big sideways V. Oh, I'm leaving room for the mouth. Okay, but a big sideways V. And then if you add a curve that looks like a letter C, then it kind of looks like a carrot, right? I can even add more letter C shapes. Right, and I want him to be happy, so I'm going to give him a cool, happy smile. And if your little circle shapes don't all come out the same, that's even better, because they wouldn't really be the same, all the same anyway, right? All right, let's add a hat. And there's lots of ways you could make a hat. And I think those are on the handout too, but I'm going to go for this kind of hat here. So I'm doing this part first, the part that's on his head first, and then 2 curved lines that come together. And then I like to add a pom-pom on the end So I'm going to do a curved line starting here, and a curved line here, but I'm aiming for here, right? And not just straight. I'm going to try to curve it a little bit too, to see how yours comes out. And if you want to give him another kind of hat, that's totally fine, okay? And I think I'm even going to go ahead and give him his hat a pattern right now. I'm going to give him fat and then skinny stripes. You can do yours however you want. All right, so let's see. I think I'm going to add the side of the scarf next, and then the arms, because the scarf, this part will actually be in front of his arm, so I need to draw the thing in front first. It's usually a lot easier that way. So I have the scarf, and then the arm is just a stick, so I will see part of it, and then the other part of it. If you want to just do one line as a stick, that's okay. That's totally fine. Like if you want it to be like that, that's totally fine too, okay? Completely fine. Since I already did that one that way, I'm going to make this one that way too. So I'm adding another line. So all the parts are basically 2 lines. Those are 2 lines, and each of the little fingers are 2 lines, okay? But like I said, one stick is okay for a snowman, okay? Because he really does have stick arms. And then I'm going to give him a pattern of buttons. So I'm going to do triangle, square. What kind of pattern can you think of? Triangle, square. That's what we call a AB pattern. AB, AB. Or there's just 2 things changing. If I went triangle, square, circle, that would be an ABC pattern. Triangle, square, circle, triangle, square, circle. We'd call it an ABC. All right, guys. And then later I want to write "Let It Snow" in here, I think. But let's look at the background. So see how I just drew kind of random lines, and I had to jump over the snowman. Right, but random lines, so I have different spaces to put my patterns, okay? So I have a ruler. Here's my ruler. And I'm just gonna, it really doesn't matter where you put the lines. You're just trying to make spaces, guys. So I'm gonna start by just putting one here across the corner. And I'm gonna draw a line. I think it's easier to use a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, you could also use like really heavy cardboard. That's really heavy cardboard. I could use that for an edge. That would work just as well. But I have a ruler. Okay. Let's see, where else could I put some, well, maybe I'll do this corner too. It's totally up to you guys, as long as you separate it into different spaces. And then maybe I can put one right kind of through the middle. That's not exactly the middle, but so when I get to the snowman, guys, see how I'm here? I got to jump over him because I don't want the line to cut through him. So I'm going to jump over. So far I have 1, 2, 3 lines, if you count this one jumping over the snowman. It's really going behind him, right? Doesn't it look like it's going behind him by jumping over it? So I got 3 lines, and I think maybe I need probably 3 more lines. So maybe I'll put one like here. And I don't want to cut through his head with my line, so when I get to his head, I got to jump over. Okay. 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. What do you guys think? Maybe I'll do one here. That would be 5 lines. And maybe I'll do one over here. So come through. I got to jump over when I get to his hat. Jump. right, now I've got all these spaces. And it came out totally different from how these ones are. But all that matters is that I have these sections now that I can put different patterns in. So I gave you guys lots of examples. There's handouts under the classwork tab for this week. But here's just some ideas, okay? So if you like hearts, I like hearts. An easy way to do a heart, if you don't know this already, is to do a letter M. Start with an M and then put a V on the bottom. So that's one thing, and you could make some big and some little if you wanted. Really little heart. Another medium one. Maybe I only see part of this one. All right. Maybe you know how to do a heart this way. Okay, you don't have to have hearts. That was just an example. Some other examples might be stars, raindrops or teardrops, different little sizes of rectangles. I kind of like those rectangles. Maybe I'll do some over in this little spot. A rectangle and a rectangle. So I'm just making a pattern with all kinds of rectangles. So patterns are not always just like red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. It could also just be a design that has a repeating element in it, like a repeating line or a repeating shape, for example. The main thing is that it's repeating. I could do different kinds of lines. Remember your different lines, right? This is a wavy line. You could do a zigzag line, right? Totally up to you how you fill in these spaces. And totally up to you which way you do your snowman, or if you choose another kind of character. Okay? So, if you want to, and you have a marker and you want to trace over it, you can. If you choose to use a Sharpie like I did, please, please, please make sure you put something thick underneath it, like newsprint, newspaper, something like that, because Sharpie will go through your computer paper and could get on your table. So be really careful with that, okay? And then, if you want to add, let it snow. When you're done, you could. Up to you. You don't have to. It's your art, right? All right, guys, so I hope you get the idea. If you want to trace over the lines, like I said, you can. Just be careful if you're using Sharpie. Put something under it, under the paper. But hopefully when you're done, something like that. And you'll get an extra good grade if you color stuff in too and do your best coloring, okay? So have fun with it. I can't wait to see what you guys make.